There's a number buried in your EXP compensation plan that most agents underestimate by tens of thousands of dollars over their career. EXP doesn't just pay you in commission, it pays you in ownership. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how much of that is actually within your reach this year, including the piece almost nobody explains correctly. I'm Meagan Estees with eXp Realty. Let's break down exactly how much agent equity actually works here and start with the part that every single agent already qualifies for. Here's what agents don't realize until somebody explains it plainly. You don't have to be a top producer to start owning a piece of this company. It's called the Sustainable Equity Plan, and it applies to every single agent at eXp from their very first transaction. Close your first transaction of the year and you earn $200 in EXPI stock, and that's an EXP World Holding traded on the NASDAQ. Reach your annual commission cap and you earn another $400 in stock. Sponsor another agent, and when they close their first transaction, you earn another $400. That stock typically carries a 3-year vesting period, meaning you're building ownership for staying and growing with the company, not just for showing up once. Now, stop and really sit with that. That's not a bonus program you have to apply for or qualify into. That's a stock landing in your account for doing the job you were already doing, closing your own deals, hitting the cap you're going to hit anyway, and bringing on people you already believed in. Let's put a real number on it because vague benefits don't move anybody. Say you close your first deal, cap out later that same year, and sponsor 2 agents who each close their first transaction. That's $200 plus $400 plus $400 twice. $1,400 in stock in a single year without changing a single thing about what you were already doing to run your business. Do that every year for 5 years, and you're not talking about a rounding error anymore. You're talking about a real position in a publicly traded company built entirely as a byproduct of work you're already doing regardless. Here's the part that I promise you, because this is where the real number lives. Icon agent status, created back in 2015, is the top tier of eXp's equity program. And it's worth up to $16,000 a year in stock on top of everything else. There are 2 ways to qualify. Option 1, reach your annual commission cap, then close 20 more transactions within your anniversary year. And option 2 is to generate $500,000 in gross commission income with at least 10 closed transactions and pay the Icon qualifying fee. Either path gets you there, one built for higher volume agents doing a large number of transactions, and one built for agents in a higher price point who don't need as many transactions to hit the number. Neither path is the right one. It just depends whether your business runs on volume or on price point. And most agents already know instinctively which side of that they fall on. Here's how that $16,000 actually breaks down, because this is the part that people get very vague about, and vague is exactly where misconception creeps in. $8,000 is a production award, and I want to be precise here because I've seen this number reported wrong in more than one place online. It carries a 3-year vesting period. Then you have $4,000, which is a cultural commitment award, which is earned by giving back to our community, which could be mentoring another agent, teaching a training, serving on the Icon committee, reviewing other applicants, things to that nature. And the final $4,000 comes as 2 $2,000 event attendance awards for showing up in person to the Shareholder Summit and EXPCon each year. That's not a plaque and a handshake. That's a real equity stake structured in a way that reward production, culture, and actual presence in this community every single year on a repeating basis for as long as you keep qualifying. And because it resets on your anniversary date, it's not a one-time achievement you earn once and move on from. It's a system you can re-enter every year you keep producing at that level. Here's what nobody talks about enough. You don't have to wait for icon status to buy in. EXP also runs a stock purchase plan, sometimes called the Agent Equity Program, where you can opt to have a percentage of your commission withheld and automatically converted into EXPI stock at a discount off market price. No vesting period on this one. You can turn it on, turn it off whenever you want, and your shares sit in an account through ShareWorks where you can see them, track them, and sell them anytime you choose. This is the piece that's available to you starting your very first transaction, discounted, no waiting period, no production threshold to hit first. Most agents never opt in simply because nobody walked them through it, and it sits buried in onboarding paperwork next to a dozen other forms. Think about what that actually means practically. Every single commission check becomes an opportunity to convert a small slice of it into an ownership at a price below what anybody else can buy it for on the open market. It's not going to replace your retirement account on its own, but paired with sustainable equity plan awards and real shots at icon down the road, it's a third layer of ownership that costs you almost nothing to set up and nothing to maintain. Here's the biggest point underneath. Every one of these programs turns money that would otherwise just be a brokerage expense into something that you actually own. Your cap, your production, your culture, all of it converts into equity in a company you're already building your career inside of. This isn't a program eXp rolled out last year to compete with somebody else's headline. Icon status has been running since 2015. That's over a decade of agents actually building ownership this way, not a benefit still being tested on the current generation of agents. When you're comparing brokerages and someone tells you about a shiny new equity program that they just launched, it's worth asking how many years of actual payouts sit behind it versus how many are still just promises on a slide. If you're evaluating where to build your business, don't just ask what the commission splits look like. Ask what happens to the money above your split. At eXp, a real piece of it can come back to you as ownership, not as a metaphor, but actual shares in a publicly traded company, whether you're brand new and just opted into the discount plan, or you're closing enough to hit icon every year. If you want to actually map out what your production could look like in stock, which would be cap, icon, all of it, text me at 520-980-9880 and drop a comment with where you'd land. Are you closer to the 20 transactions path or a 500K GCI path? And if this finally made agent equity make sense, subscribe because I break down a piece of eXp like this every single month. I'm Meagan Estees, and I will see you out there.